Okay, hello. Welcome back to the stream. Apologize for yesterday. I completely forgot about about the stream. Um, yeah. So, anyways, today we're getting back to work on the cutscene in the deep woods once again. Specifically, this one. The last time I streamed, I wasted a lot of time trying to figure out why the player character wasn't turning invisible when I wanted him to be. And yeah, it turns out that I had written a really crappy script like probably a year ago. And that script was like constantly updating the player's visibility based on some value, and it wasn't keeping. And yeah, that was technically not ideal. And I basically just commented out that code for the time being until I figure out why it was there, and then I'll find a different way of re-implementing whatever it was that was intended to accomplish. So yeah, anyways, let's get on to the next part of this cutscene. I'm going to start off by kind of recapping what this cutscene is going to look like. Or at the very least, I'm going to recap what I've done so far for this cutscene. So I'm going to create a alternate preview window. I'm going to select this camera, click preview. Then I'm going to. So over here is where how the cutscene is going to going to appear. Minus the text, because I can't. Because in order for the text box to appear and work, it requires code to be run, and the current system does not support that for the time being. Well, I mean, sorry, what I meant to say is when you're running the program in the editor, it cannot do certain. It cannot like run functions that are meant to be triggered. Okay, so I think this initial section is basically done. So I can move on to the next part. So I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this and call it cutscene 02. The reason I'm duplicating it is because I don't want to have to fish through this scene hierarchy and find the nodes that I want to use in the animation. But that does mean that I have to delete pretty much all the keyframes in this current section. Or at the very least, copy the last positional keyframes or move them to the front. Like this. I think I don't want show text 1 in here because that is the text box for the first part of the cutscene. I think I want to erase these animation timelines. So this should be idle animation for the player again. Which one is this? I forget. Oh, it's this character. Let's do this one. This one should be. I think this is the other guard. And this one should be bow pose. Okay. And next I will animate the camera position. I wish there was a better way of displaying this preview. And this is probably the best I'm going to get. I wish there was a way to like pop this out and put it in like a separate window. But I don't think there's a way of doing that in the the version I'm using. I'm actually using 3.6. That is the version of Godot that I'm using. Surprisingly, it actually updated pretty recently. So Godot 4 is out right now, but they're still kind of supporting 3. The reason I'm not using 4 is because this project has been going on since before 4 was a thing. Uh-oh. There we go. Sorry, it wasn't letting me resize the window for some reason. I had to do something. Now it is. Okay. And some silly phone notification. Okay, so before I decide where this camera is going to go, I need to figure out which character is going to be in focus next. So I need to take a look at the text in my translation file. Okay, so excellent work. Your job is now complete. So I think the character that is going to be saying that is this dude. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera over up to him to show that he's the one talking. Oh, whoops. This is the wrong animator. This one? This one. There we go. This section is probably only going to be about 4 seconds long. I'm going to have the camera kind of slowly move, pan backwards. And I'm going to use in out this. Yeah, let's make it 5 seconds long. Call method. Let's have it call the method at about 1 second into the animation. I think it's 6 seconds long. Well, I guess I should make the event that triggers the second part of the cutscene. The event that triggers the first part of the cutscene is when the player walks into the trigger over here. And I want to make it so that the trigger for the second part of the cutscene is activated when the player presses A after the text box the first text box is finished. So that should trigger the second part of the cutscene. Oh, whoops. Okay. Just going to quickly test this out, see if it works. This is going to be a very short part. Depending on how it goes, I might have to extend it out. Let's see how it goes. Hold on, I'm just gonna check my stream. Actually, I'm just gonna do this first. Then I'll check it. Oh, okay, that didn't work. Wrong node. My lord, I have brought the human as you requested. So when I press the space bar, it should do the next part. And it didn't work. Okay. Okay. Oh, I think that's the reason. My lord, I have brought the human as you have requested. It's not quite right. Oh, that's why. I'm referencing the wrong string. The wrong translation. Okay. Hold on. I'm just gonna quickly change something in this script. Lord, I have brought the human as you requested. Excellent work. Your job is now complete. Minor problem. Minor problem. The camera kind of swings over in between the cutscene animations. You know what? You know what? I am not going to hijack the camera. Instead, I'm just going to straight up just use this camera. So the reason I created this camera in the node was mainly just for the editor so that I could preview it. But in hindsight, let's just use this camera for the cutscene. Right? Yeah, let's do that. So let's make it so that... So let's grab the camera. Make current. This should work, I think. Or I could be wrong and it'll just like copy over. Yeah, it seems to be working. Looks better actually. Oh yeah, instant. Just snaps right over, just like I wanted. Perfect. That was quick. Let's do part 3. What happens in part 3? Okay, so the same guy continues talking. He says, "As for you, human, Raphael was it? I believe you assisted my people before. Yes, I've heard great things about you in the past, but I request your assistance on an urgent matter." Okay, so because of the amount of text, this is probably going to be a little bit longer than the previous. Oh, yeah, than the cutscene 2 animation. Oops. No. Pick 2 and duplicate it. Call it 3. Actually, let's change this part 1 of the cutscene. Let's make it a little bit more cinematic. Let's have it slowly, have the camera slowly pan towards this character. Now let's have the robes of the other character show up on the side. This one, let's have the camera. Let's move this keyframe over here and have the camera kind of start here and then move up. Let's remove this one, and then the reason I'm removing cutscene over 3 so I can copy it over from 2 again, because I want to update it to. I kind of want this one to transition more fluidly. So in between this cutscene and the first part and the second part, there's like a jump cut, and I kind of want cutscene 03 to be more of a fluid transition. I actually want him to move his head to kind of indicate that he's looking at one character and then looking at a different one. Oh, I just remembered. I have to actually set up IK for that. This character. Come on, let me select. Here we go. So this isn't a built-in Godot. No, this is a add-on that I found. I forget where I found it exactly, but it allows me to look at positions for things like the head. Very useful for cutscenes. And also just for a general gameplay, like if I want the player's head to focus on something, I use this particular node to do that kind of thing. You have to update this animation to take that into account, though. For this one, he's going to look directly at this dude. At least he's supposed to. Okay. So let's have him. Let's have him look over here first. And then look up at this character. Let's make it a little bit faster. Let's see, add some easing. Let's just do in and out. Make it a bit more abrupt. And then let's have the camera. Where's the camera? Here it is. Let's have the camera Okay, as I was saying, let's make the camera change focus and look at this dude. The camera kind of zoom in on him. I always like to have the camera moving during cutscenes instead of being perfectly still. All right, let's try this out. Excellent work, your job is complete. Oh, right, I never actually triggered the text box. Definitely need to do that. Call method. All right, one more try. Okay, I think that was actually pretty good. I think pretty much only need one more. This last one's probably going to be the most complicated one. It's going to involve the fourth and final text box of this section. 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll basically say, "Come, we shall discuss this further in a more appropriate place." So he's gonna so the camera is going to focus on him while he turns around and starts walking this way. Expect and then the other characters will follow him up, and then it'll fade out, and then the next area will load in. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. Yes, it's going to be the most complicated because it's going to involve pretty much all of these characters moving. I'm not going to animate them mucking up the whole thing. It's just going to be like enough for you to kind of get the idea that they're that they're ascending the staircase. It's not really a staircase. It's more like a sloped boardwalk. And yeah, you can never actually get up over here in the game because there's going to be like a loading trigger over here. That's the plan, at least. So yeah, let's get to work on that last portion of the cutscene. Duplicate. Delete all these keyframes. This. Let's set this to 0. Don't need any keyframes for this. Reference to the final text box. It's a little bit weird for the player to kind of bop his head back and forth like that. Maybe I'll have him. Maybe I'll add it. I'll add like a IK node that'll force him to look directly at the person who's talking to him. That's probably a good idea. Oh yeah, I forgot. On this mesh, I made the X. Oh, never mind. It works. Okay. So for part 1 of the cutscene. Interpolation for this should be 0. Actually, let's make it like 1 over here and then have focus here. What is going on there? Something not quite right. I don't know. Maybe it'll be fine in the actual game. It looks stupid like that. Sorry, I have to message someone right now. All right. Sorry about that. Anyways, let's check and see if those weird IK issues are just in the editor or if they're actually in the game. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. His neck is broken. Man. It's always funny when that happens, but it also kind of sucks. Okay. Excuse me. Look at this. Okay. 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 Man. One problem with the script that I sometimes have. Hey, is this neck the right size or length? Yeah, I mean, I really like this script that I found, But yeah, this is one of the stupid little flaws with it. Sometimes I have to sometimes I have to use the this additional bone and set the the length of that bone manually. I think the reason I didn't have to do it with this guy is because he's got like a relatively stationary animation. But I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I don't have to fix it right now. All right, let's see if it works now. It's a whole lot of trial and error with this. Okay, he's looking at the dude. I think the camera position needs a little bit of adjusting because the text box is kind of blocking the view a little bit. It's something that you don't really see in the preview because the text box doesn't appear. But I'll have to do something about that right now. For this, let's actually move the camera down a little bit. I have one of those songs from Dragon Ball stuck in my head. Not the Dragon Ball Z Bruce Falconer stuff. It's like the Tenkaichi the Budokai Tenkaichi theme from like the first Dragon Ball, like the Japanese song. It's kind of catchy actually. I don't know the language though, so I can't really sing it. Make this a bit more dynamic. I'm gonna have him looking at this guy. And then at this guy as the camera is zooming in. I'm also gonna adjust the interpolation value. It's 0.5. This one also 0.5. But this is gonna be 1. The idea is that he's not looking directly at him. I'm going to set the like the eyeball texture at some points to kind of match up more with the character's looking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the head only kind of partially looking at this character, then have the eyes like do the rest of the work. I think that's a good way to make characters a bit more expressive. Again, instead of having the head on the neck pointing directly at the subject, have it looking kind of partly in front and partly in over there. That's what the interpolation value does. It allows you it kind of it lets you choose what how much the weight of the like the intensity should be. So it's not just on or off. And it's also good to have them blink whenever they change the position of their eyes. I don't know. I just think that looks more natural. I don't have blinking in this animation though, but I have it in some of my other animations on my channel that I've made for this game. They're actually like in the project somewhere. You know what? I might as well do that right now. I'm going to make it so that this guy, this dude, come on, let me select him. Let me choose the mesh. Come on. There we go. Not quite. Right. Head. Let's make this. Let's set this and this. So what I'm doing is I'm animating this character's eyeball texture. I'm going to make it so that around over here, he's going to close his eyes. Half. Let's see if I can kind of show you what's going on here. So as the animation progresses, what? It's only doing the right eye. Okay, I clearly messed up somewhere. Okay, let's try that again. Over here, he will use the quarter blink. Here he will use half blink. For here he will use 3/4 blink. It's basically a squint. Over here, his eyes will be completely closed. Like this. Now let's do the eyelids of this character. Make it unique. Set the keyframe. And set the keyframe. So let's have this guy use looking down texture. And let's do the same thing here. Let's have him actually let's have him blink here. Oh, oops, wrong thing. Let's have this guy, this cutscene specific version of the character. Let's have him, let's make unique, make unique. Uh, And now that I think about it, his eyes are really far apart. A little bit weird looking. I blink. Here, let's take a close look at that. You think that looks natural? I think it looks pretty good. Okay, now cutscene part 4. To have the camera. Actually, I'm gonna be quitting in about 2 minutes, but I'll get this first camera frame out of the way so that I can continue hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, I think today was pretty productful. Productful. That's not a word. Productive. You know what I mean. Sometimes you say words that don't exist. So now what's gonna happen is this character is going to it's not done yet, but when I'm done, I'm gonna have this character turn around and go up and be followed by the other characters. I'm gonna have the camera zoom out. Yeah, let's have it kind of go over the player's head or shoulder. Hmm. All right, that's probably enough for today. Yeah, this is pretty good so far, I think. Actually, before I quit, let's quickly go. Let's see if it runs the way that it currently is. Okay. So this isn't done yet, but the idea is that he says the last thing and then he goes up and everyone else follows him up and then it's gonna fade to black. And that should be it for this cutscene. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow if I don't forget like I did yesterday.